I won 1999 election, not Obasanjo. Former SGF drops political bombshell 25 years later. 25 years after Nigeria's historic return to democracy, one man has just shattered everything we thought we knew about that election. Welcome to RNN TV, your #1 source for the political revelations that shake Nigeria to its core. What you're about to hear will make you question everything about our democratic journey since 1999. Chief Olufale, the former secretary to the government of the Federation, has just dropped the political bombshell of the century. In a rare interview on Arise TV's morning show during Democracy Day celebrations, this 85-year-old statesman made a claim that has left political analysts scratching their heads. He says he won the 1999 presidential election, not Olusegun Obasanjo. Can you imagine? For 25 years, we've been celebrating Obasanjo as the man who brought us back to democracy, but Fale claims the results were manipulated to deny him victory. This is not small matter. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Fale says his late lawyer, Chief Jok Ajayi, conducted a thorough review of the vote counts and confirmed that he actually won by over 1 million votes. 1 million votes. That's not a small margin we're talking about here.
For your kind words. Well, still no regret for the part I played in the Nadoko struggle, even though I lost 2 years of my life in detention. Yes, we fought for democracy. Yes, in 1999 February, I contested the presidential election with my former boss and now friend, General Olusegun Obasanjo. It was clear to everybody that I won that election. As you remember, I went to court. I hired late Jok Ajayi as my lawyer. And Jok was able to establish that if the results that were duplicated were to be discounted, I won by 1.5 million votes. And I was told much later in London by late Ambassador Dende Fernandez that he had seen the results of the election with the Americans. That's the way he put it to me. And that I won a landslide victory. I have no doubt in my mind, and most Nigerians have no doubt whatsoever, that it was I that they voted for. Clearly, the military were jittery about a thoroughbred civilian taking over from them. They would rather go for a hybrid civilian, quote-unquote, politician in the person of my former boss, General Obasanjo. What I was told was that they were afraid that if I became president, I might decide to probe the military. Now, that's ridiculous because I spent 5 years in the Babangida government, first as secretary for 4 years, and then as minister for 1 year. How could I be so stupid as to probe a government of which I was a part? That as such beggars description. But clearly it was an excuse to do what they wanted to do. They believed that the military, they were safer in the hands of a former military person. That's okay by me. I had done my duty, I've paid my dues, and I'm happy that we are still practicing democracy, although it's not perfect. The results are questionable, but it is democracy. You can speak your mind, you can sue the government, you can form parties and do what you like. That is the essence of democracy. So that I was not allowed to enjoy my victory in the 1999 election was unfortunate because I believe, with all humility, that I was better prepared to govern Nigeria as president after 1999 because I had spent my entire life in the public service. As a civil servant, I was a federal permanent secretary. As managing director of Nigerian Merchant Bank for 5 years. As secretary to the federal government for 4 years, minister of finance for 1 year. I had combined experience in the public and private sectors. I want to say again, quite humbly, without any blemish, and without any crisis. And so I thought I was, and what is more, I spent almost 2 years organizing focus group discussions on various aspects of the Nigerian economy. And I was able to distill into my blueprint the outcome of those focus group discussions on agriculture, on education, on industry, on the military, foreign policy. I was ready to govern, to hit the ground running. I was prepared. I had prepared little handbooks for every minister, containing the kernel and essence and outline of what I wanted to do in every sector. So that I would not go to Abuja and start thinking of what to do, setting up meaningless committees to think for me. At least I was clear in my mind where I wanted to take Nigeria. And in fact, my blueprint was titled New Directions for the Third Republic. Despite all that, as I said, I have no regret at all that I participated in the Nigerian struggle.
But here's the part that will shock you the most. Despite knowing he won, Faili and his party chose not to go to court. Why? Because they prioritized national peace over personal political gain. In his own words, "We were more concerned about the country returning to democracy peacefully after years of military rule." Now, think about this for a moment. This man potentially sacrificed the highest office in the land for the sake of national unity. Whether you believe his story or not, you have to respect that level of patriotism, right? Remember the context. This was just after General Sani Abacha's death, and General Abdul Salami Abubakar was trying to transition the country back to civilian rule. The Yoruba people were still angry about the annulled June 12, 1993 election that MKO Abiola won. So both Faili and Obasanjo, being Yoruba men, were seen as ways to calm the Southwest. But here's where the politics gets even more complex. While Faili had the support of the Alliance for Democracy, AD, and All People's Party, AP, Obasanjo was backed by the powerful People's Democratic Party, PDP, with strong military and political establishment support. You can see how the scales might have been tilted, right? Faili admits there was so much pressure not to rock the boat at the time. He accepted the results in good faith, but now insists that Nigeria deserves to know the truth. It's not about me. It's about the truth. Nigeria deserves to know the real story behind its so-called democratic rebirth, he declared. The most painful part of his revelation? Faili believes that since 1993, Nigeria has not had a single credible election. Even with sustained democracy since 1999, he says our electoral process still faces massive challenges. That's a damning assessment of our democratic journey. Now, this bombshell raises serious questions about the foundation of our Fourth Republic. If Faili's claims are true, what does this mean for the legitimacy of all the elections that followed? How many other victories in Nigerian politics might have been manipulated? RNN TV viewers, this revelation has just reopened one of the most significant chapters in Nigerian political history. Whether you believe Chief Faili or not, his courage to speak truth to power at 85 years old is remarkable. What's your take on this explosive claim? Do you think Faili is telling the truth, or is this just political mischief? Should he have spoken up earlier, or was his silence for national unity justified? And most importantly, what does this mean for Nigeria's democratic credibility? Drop your thoughts in the comments section and let's have a mature political discussion. Don't forget to subscribe to RNN TV for more breaking political revelations that you won't find anywhere else.